Hi, so I'm here with my friend David Abrams.
Yep.
Going to be talking about Snyder Cut is happening. We are both in kind of opposite ends. I'm going to watch it. I like Snyder. I really like Man of Steel. Batman vs Superman for me is a mess, but it could have been good, and I felt like there were good movies in it. But I don't blame Zack Snyder. It's not I don't like the directing. I don't like. It feels like they shoved a bunch of stuff in, and Justice League. It's clearly it's trying to be two different. It feels like it was two directors, and it was. But David here is on the other end. He is pumped. He wants this thing in his veins. He wants to drink Mountain Dew for 4 hours and watch this whole thing. So,
Not exactly Mountain Dew for 4 hours, but well,
but
when I
you're
say
pumped.
I'm pumped. It's weird because I've never been this excited for a movie that I saw and was kind of terrible. Like I saw Justice League and I was so excited for it, like everyone was. And the first DC crossover was a studio product of a mess. And I even if this version is still subpar in quality, I mean it's still all about the consistency of one man's vision and artistic expression. That's what it comes down
Yeah.
to. People are missing the point when they say like it's gonna still suck. I'm like, but like this is the original guy's
Well,
vision. He like more
even if
than half of a movie was
yeah, well, even if it sucks, at least you'll be able to judge it as a full movie.
agreed, and that's the one
But
thing that people need to understand.
but okay, think about this. Think about if Justice League, Joss Whedon didn't come in and they made the movie, and it was a mess of a movie. But like, if you think about, let's think what he originally had planned was a cohesive story, and if that's what he gets to do, then it'll probably be a good movie. It's the only way it'll be a bad movie, at least in my opinion, is if the original product was still a mess, trying to not a cohesive story. But I feel like I don't know. It seems like after Batman v Superman, they were gonna get on track and have a cohesive story, and then all that stuff happened, and he ended up leaving. Um, but yeah, I can't see it really being horrible. Um, because I mean, listen, if they're letting him do this and they're spending all that money, I mean, that yeah, it's not a lot of movie for money for a big movie. It's all for uh, VFX and uh, ADR and all that. But I feel like if they're putting that money in, it's gonna be good.
Thankfully, it's shot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going
it's
to
all
be a
shot. Well, all that money is gonna be for VFX and ADR and stuff. Um, so they're basically gonna be taking old, footage they already filmed. They filmed hours probably of stuff, and it'll definitely be interesting to look at as a movie because it's like a lot of the directing is going to be directing footage that's all it's going to be interesting definitely looking at it because he's going to be directing stuff they
well,
already
it's
shot.
footage that was shot already.
Yeah, and he
So
was there for it.
thankfully,
um but what I want to talk about is Junkie XL, they did the music for Batman vs Superman with Hans Zimmer.
it was
And
awesome.
yeah, and while I'm not the biggest fan of the movie, I'm definitely more positive than others. There are others who think it's like there's nothing
The
good about
worst
it.
script ever.
I think there are. I love Ben Affleck's Batman. The fact that he's my favorite Batman and I didn't like the movie proves that Zack Snyder did his Batman great. I mean, everything with his Batman in the movie, and just the hatred, the way he acts, his acting is like you can see just the hatred. And Ben Affleck in that movie is just great, and he's great. And
Agreed.
I can't wait to see more of him because we didn't really get a lot of him. And I mean, we got some, but it just wasn't really focused on him. I feel like with Zack Snyder getting his vision, we're gonna see more of what we wanted to see from Batman.
Yes, I think in this movie, he recently just said there will be more character development. A very blunt statement, which can
Yeah,
mean a lot of things. But
and
I'm all for that.
yeah, and you know, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, what are the odds of Ben Affleck coming back as Batman, whether it be his own movie or a cameo in something else, I would have said like 5%. Now
Right.
I'd give it a solid. I was yesterday I was saying like 20 or 30%, but honestly, I think I'd go like 40%. I think I think 40-45%. I think it is a possibility now. I
That
really
we
do.
still have Affleck.
But I'm saying the possibility that he would come back, whether it be another movie or just a cameo in a like Suicide Squad or something. I think
He should cameo in the Batman.
that no that well the thing is with them not having said publicly that the Robert Pattinson Batman will tie into the DCU, which I hope it does. I think that their plan is that they're gonna do 2 movies or finish the trilogy or whatever, and if they do really well, then they'll combine them. But right now, I actually think it's possible that they bring Ben Affleck back and put him in with the DCU. And they can do that with the fact that for now, Robert Pattinson is separate.
Ah,
Think of what?
no, there's a lawnmower guy
Oh, okay.
outside. Loud as
What do
fuck.
you think of the idea of having him come back in the DCU?
Affleck?
Yeah,
That sounds like what I originally wanted.
yeah. Well, but what I was
God
saying,
damn.
um,
Woo, woo.
but what I was saying with it's actually it would actually not be that hard for them to do it, considering that Pattinson, the movie hasn't come out, and they said they're not planning on putting in the DCU. So I'd say it's actually not that unlikely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a possibility. It really all depends. I'd say the same thing.
But I just all I care about is him finishing they started.
Yeah,
To
your
me.
audio cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry, I went into my brother's room.
Okay.
But like, no, all I want them to do is finish what they. Fuck, everything in this house is so
Here,
loud.
I can pause. Okay. So, you're talking about Zack Snyder finishing Justice League.
Yes. So I want him to. 1 second. Let me get this good back in there. Oh, there it is. Now I got a Zack Snyder Justice League. So all I want to see is what he originally intended, and even if it's still chunky and whatever, but like he said it's like we only got 1/4 of a movie, and that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing. It's nothing.
It's
Like it'll, yeah.
There was part of that movie that was like Batman going on this journey, setting up the League in this dark, depressing, almost felt like it was going to be sort of like Batman's story, and then it's just completely not that for the rest. So
Yes.
that's what I'm really interested in to see, and there's got to be more. I really think that there's more that they filmed for him meeting Aquaman.
No, absolutely. That is for sure.
Because it's just like he just goes there, and then Jason Momoa goes in the sea with his shirt off, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
like, we gotta get. It's not a full. Not a full movie. It's like
it's a studio bowel movie.
Yeah, I feel like I can judge Batman vs Superman honestly, because even though I don't like the movie, it was a complete movie and it was a mess, but it wasn't his fault that it was a mess, because it felt like they were trying to do all this stuff. It felt like it was the studio was like, "Hey, can you just do all this stuff?" And he's like, "Well, no, it's
He
just
made the
one
best.
story."
He made the best of it.
Yeah, I do think it's the best that he could have done with the way. I mean,
The
you could tell
constraints.
that they're like, "Hey, have all these Easter eggs and setting up the Justice League," and I bet he was like, "Well, that would be kind of forced. Let's just focus on the story." And they're like, "No,
No, you have to do it.
Yeah, and I'm just really looking forward. I mean, when they announced that Hans Zimmer was done with superhero movies, and then he changed his mind and went to Dark Phoenix, which
Ugh,
oh yeah, but as much as I was upset when they announced that, and then Junkie XL wasn't even coming back for Justice League, and it seems like they're buddies with Zack Snyder, so I do think that I don't, but I'm glad. But basically, Junkie XL is coming back to uh to do the score for the Justice League, the Snyder
thank
Cut,
God.
which really, if you think about it, it's not going to be an extended cut. It might be longer, but it's not going to be an extended cut because it's going to be a different movie. So it's,
Right.
I
So
mean,
it's
like,
good. Yeah.
I wonder. I'd be really curious after it comes out to see what footage from the version we saw is in it and how they like re-edit it and stuff. I'm really
Agreed. Yeah, that's the thing I'm most curious about. How
Has
much of the
anyone
movie we
spoken publicly or any inside sources talked about specific scenes that were shot by Snyder?
I don't think I don't think they
Yeah.
really want to. But originally, Wonder Woman was gonna cut off Steppenwolf's head, and that
Oh,
was gonna be
really?
awesome. Yeah, that sounded like a much more badass
Yeah.
ending.
It, it's just there's so much we don't know, so it's hard to even speculate.
Well, they have to keep this under. This was obviously gonna be a thing from a while back. If it got
Yeah.
to this, there was definitely deals in the workings and stuff was happening behind the scenes. Um, So yeah, like there's a lot. We know Dark Side's gonna be it, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be, if for nothing else, like finally the guy we actually want to see,
Yeah.
the Thanos.
Yeah. The whole thing with Steppenwolf is like my problem with him isn't it's not the idea of the character, it's just the way he just comes in and you don't really connect to him at all. He just feels like a emotionless, but there's got to be more to that. There's got to be more to that. The Steppenwolf in
Yeah,
the
Steppenwolf. Yeah, but I honestly don't think this movie will change Steppenwolf being a bland villain, and that's okay for me. Um,
yeah,
he's just a red herring to get to dark side.
yeah,
But if he's like a much shittier version of Loki, without all the personality, without
well,
any of the fun, he's
well,
just
well
all the
but
boring.
well but there's nothing wrong with the villain being dark, and you can have a dark,
That's
not
right, of
fun
course.
villain, but my problem was just there wasn't any like it wasn't
Character.
fleshed out at all. Yeah, there wasn't character. It's like
there
I love
wasn't the basic character.
Yeah, here's a comparison. I love Avengers Infinity War, but one of my problems, small problems, it's like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. One of my small problems with that movie is that they have these cool looking sidekicks to Thanos, and then they have no character. Like, I don't need them to be fleshed out with a backstory. Just even like one line saying like, "Oh, they're married," because apparently it was canon that those two that the two of the sidekicks of Thanos in Infinity War were like married, but like I didn't get any of that from the movie. It's just
Me too. I
yeah,
agree. For like the general audience, like they gotta like say something about that.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Obviously, it's almost a perfect movie. It's almost a perfect movie. That's like my only real issue. That
If
and
that's your issue with the movie, then like DC has much bigger things to worry about than just
yeah,
one little thing like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, but I think the reason that Steppenwolf bothers me more is because he was the only villain. Thanos,
Yes.
he's not a side, but Junkie XL's score is like I am unbelievably excited for that because Danny Elfman's score was fine, but it was half part of the movie felt like it was trying to be this uplifting, fun superhero movie, and Danny Elfman's score is that. Danny Elfman's score is not this dark, pumped. Junkie XL's
Yeah.
score for Batman vs Superman, it's this dark, pumped up. I'm not trying. I'm making a joke, but seriously, this is how I describe it: is drinking Mountain Dew in music. It really is, and not as a bad thing. Like it
Yeah,
has
no, Junkie
adrenaline
XL is
pumping,
amazing.
but it doesn't lack emotion or anything. There's a lot of emotion in that score. It's really
Yeah.
even
For which movie?
for Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, no, the
It,
score is
and
phenomenal. I
you know
own it.
what they did so well is they had two people working together, Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, and it never felt like it was two people not getting along.
Agreed.
It
Like their styles blend together.
like if you look at, I think Benjamin Wallfish and Junkie XL did a score together for like, what was it? It was It or something, some Warner Brothers movie. Oh no, I think it was Blade Runner 2049. I think it might have been.
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. But they're great, and they have this. I mean, just look at Mad Max Fury Road. I
Of
mean,
course.
look at. I mean, it's like they managed to have this like fist pumping adrenaline, but also they have all this emotion. Where
Yeah.
and that's one of the things I love about Batman vs Superman. In addition to the beginning of that movie, which I'm someone who doesn't think the movie is good, and one of the things I love is the opening scene. With
Yeah, the opening
and
scene is
a
sick.
lot of people have problems with the sort of seeing Uncle Ben die in Spider-Man or seeing, but I actually it doesn't bother me if it feels the story, if it's necessary for that story. I don't really have a problem with it, and I thought the way that they directed that and filmed that was so different from all the other ones.
Yeah, it was so Snyder. It was
Exactly,
so
exactly.
it was
And
so,
that,
I was like every shot was
well,
beautiful.
I think that's why people don't like it, for the exact
Because they think
reason
it's
we
so
do.
indulgent. They think it's very indulgent. And I could see that. And I could see that.
Yeah, it's understandable, but I love it. It works for me. It's my favorite version of that scene. And it's funny when you look at that. It's two actors from The Walking Dead. I don't. Do you watch The Walking Dead?
No, but I know
But
who
but yeah,
I know
but
who
basically
that guy
it's
is.
the Bruce Wayne's dad.
Dean Morgan,
Yeah,
Jeffrey Dean
it's
Morgan.
Negan and Maggie. It's basically a character that witnessed a loved one be murdered by that other person, and now in Batman they're married.
Well, that guy was also in Watchmen. Yeah,
Yeah. So we
he
know
was in Watchmen.
Snyder. But I think I've
Snyder
seen him
likes
say in
working with him.
interviews that if he was asked to, that he would be down for doing Flashpoint.
Yeah, honestly,
Which
I actually just watched that animated Flashpoint movie,
yeah,
the Flashpoint
if
Paradox. It was
that
really cool.
happened, that
It was
would
really cool.
be insane. That would be insane. I mean, just
Yeah, I
absolutely
know.
insane.
And the Thomas Wayne as Batman was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, and then Martha Wayne is the Joker.
Joker,
Man, that'd be crazy. But
pretty cool
yeah, this
stuff.
this whole thing is I'm I'm more positive on it than I was like a month ago because when I thought they were gonna do a Snyder cut, I guess I didn't realize that they were actually gonna like spend all the. I didn't realize they were gonna bring back Junkie XL and all this. I mean, it's what we're hearing is not exactly what we thought it was gonna be. It's
And I don't
actually
care. I
yeah
don't care.
yeah
It
you
doesn't
don't
matter to me. It doesn't
yeah
matter. The fact that we got to this, and like they could have shat it out and put it on like they could have put it on what's it called? What's this? They could have put it on MySpace for all I care, and I
yeah.
would totally sign up for MySpace.
The sad reality, one of the bad things is that I would have loved to see this in a theater, but I'm thankful we're getting it. I mean, it's cool we're
Agreed.
getting it.
Agreed.
I'm getting
It
it,
really
and
doesn't matter.
because I would
Maybe
just
they
love,
will have theater showings of it.
you know,
If you
it's
get a good feedback.
okay if I think the 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 only way that happens is if it does extremely well on HBO Max to the point like we could make money if we put this in a theater. I think it's possible because if this comes out next year and say theaters are back nationwide sometime next year or 2022 and this was popular, I think it's a possibility.
Agreed.
But there's no way to tell
Uh,
now, but I would definitely pay to see this in a theater.
I would, and I'd pay to buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
That's
even if even if it's a good, not great movie, I would go just for
Dude,
the
if it's a
score.
good, not great movie, I will be so incredibly happy you don't
Well,
even
well,
understand.
thing is, it doesn't need to be great. It just needs to be a good movie, like
It,
any
it,
movie.
it, it needs to be far better. It needs to than of course the original cut, and at least be a consistent Zack Snyder movie. That's all
Yeah,
I ask.
yeah.
That's all
And
I
if
ask.
I'm, yeah,
And you know,
the whole thing is, it's really interesting because I honestly thought that this wasn't going to happen because I didn't think that this would
me
get
too.
subscribers, but I'm seeing now that maybe it will. I mean, I for
Oh yeah, there's crazy people, man. They want this shit.
well, I think it could get to general audiences just because of it's Batman, it's Wonder Woman. And
Superman.
exactly, and think about this. If Wonder Woman isn't released before this is released, then this would be more likely to be successful because people are hungry for more Wonder Woman.
Yes, this would actually really bring
This
on the
would
hype for
and
that.
this would I think, I actually think now with I think Wonder Woman pushed out of its August release?
I don't think yet.
Okay, but I think it's probably, I don't know. It might
We don't
happen.
know. We don't know. We don't
But
know anything.
but if I'm Warner Brothers right now, and you look at the state of the world in the US and theaters, I actually might say that it might be a smarter move to push Wonder Woman to next year to boost the excitement for this.
Yeah, but people would still get fucking pissed.
Hang on. What do you think would help Snyder Cut more? Wonder Woman being released this year or them pushing it?
Well, here's a couple things. So apparently they released the DC ones. They released the animated movie called Apocalypse Wars. This big final battle where they fight everyone apparently fights Darkseid. I need to see
Yeah.
that. That's why I'm watching the other ones. So I would think they would have released that a little later to get, but like that's besides the point.
It
Do I
yeah, it
think
really
it would be a
depends
good
on
idea?
I think that they're probably gonna wait to delay Wonder Woman until I think if Tenet gets pushed, they're gonna push Wonder Woman because it's 1 month away.
Yes, dude. I will go out of my house. I have
Yeah,
not seen the trailer. Don't you fucking talk about the trailer. I haven't seen it
yeah.
today.
Oh
Did you
man,
see it?
yeah. It's
Is it cool? Is it cool as fuck? That's just all.
yeah.
Okay, then
I
don't say anything
no no
else.
no. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna say the first trailer is still my favorite.
Whatever. I know who's in it. I
No
know
no
it's.
no. Yeah, you gotta
I
watch
don't want
it.
to know anything.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
I
But
don't know the plot.
yeah. Well, I don't think anyone does.
Good.
This has nothing to do with the trailer, but I saw someone say something funny last night. They said, "Oh my god, I just realized something, guys. Tenet spelled backward is
It's the
Tenet."
same fucking tenant. Yeah. Dude,
but
there's not. That is going to be the best
but
movie of the year,
but
most
we gotta
likely.
we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that soon. That trailer because oh my god.
I'm not watching it until I see this movie.
Oh
I'm sorry.
really?
I'm not. Oh no,
Have you
absolutely,
seen
dude.
the first trailer? Have you
Christopher
seen the?
Nolan, dude. I saw the first one. I saw the
Okay.
first one, and that's all I need. I know who's in the
Okay.
movie, and I know it's
Well,
Christopher Nolan. I know it's some crazy timey movie, and
if
I don't want to know anything
if
else.
you
That's
are
it.
mentally able to do that, yeah, go ahead because I cannot do that.
I can because all I know is that it's at least the fact that we're getting a new Nolan movie at the end of the world over here is I'm very okay with that, and I will happily
Yeah.
step out of my house and go to the fucking movie
Yeah.
theater
Are
and see that.
are you a fan of Dunkirk?
I think it's good. It's not my favorite of his, but
Yeah.
it's still really good.
Yeah. It's just for me it lacks like the
But like
emotion.
I'm
Yeah. But yeah, we're all really
I would
excited.
say too.
We're all really excited for it. Um so yeah, the Snyder Cut is happening whether it's released in episodes or released the whole thing. It's coming out. Um I think I think that it's either going to be in episodes or two parts. I don't think they'll release it just one thing.
That would be a gift. That would be a gift, so don't expect the gift. If we get
Yeah.
it, I'll shit myself, but like still I'll be thankful if they, I'd be thankful if they split it into like cartoon length episodes, like 20-minute, those like 20-minute ones. I want
Yeah.
to fucking hear like next on Justice League, we have to go here. I would be so thankful, and I would kiss Warner Brothers' ass. But like they're not going to make it 20 minutes, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're really excited for the Snyder Cut. It's coming next year. Thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Absolutely, anytime,
Yeah,
anytime.
anytime.